Nerd Soul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go because it's time to talk nerd soul gaming. And I'm not by myself, man. Look, I got a God Slayer on the line. All right. I want to give it up to Open Mind. Say what's up, man.
What's up, NERDSoul family, FGC gaming community? What's happening? I'm in a great mood and I can't wait to get into the topics today. Brother, thanks again for having me on as always. Always love.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so we got a couple of things. Then I want to talk about Tekken because you've been doing your thing in Tekken. But we got a couple pieces of news. I guess the first thing I'll talk about is um, why Soul Calibur disappeared. Um, Katsuhira Harada, you might know him just a little bit. He out there, doing his Tekken thing. But lately, people have been talking about 2018's Soul Calibur 6, and there was a tweet that went out. I'm trying to think how long ago, 2 days ago or yesterday, and it was from Jason Montoya saying if Soul Calibur 2 had a director as loyal or better said long term as Harada Tekken was for Tekken, then Soul Calibur 2 would have grown into unseen levels of success for the series. The sales have declined over the series because so much changes and they lose old mechanics, introduce new ones, a lost defensive mechanic, the push block, away or towards an opponent was lost, and it was sad to be seen gone. Change is needed, but the soul of the game needs to stay the same. Like Harada has done so well for Tekken. With the success of Tekken 8, I'm sure we'll see a new entry into the Soul Calibur series. But what kind of entry will it be? A suggestion to the Bandai Namco team is use Soul Calibur 2 as a template. Add in aspects of Heat, Rage Arts, SC6 aspects, bring back lost mechanics. However, be measured in this, as Soul Calibur over time became too Tekken-like, as in recovery from attacks was too large, should keep recovery fast, as this is what guard impacts were for, to slow down an opponent's offense. I want to attract a new younger audience. Anime here and across the globe is very liked. Guest characters are key, but not just one of the few to provide many over time. The soul still burns. So that was his statement. It was long, but
Yeah.
Harada did respond. And he threw in a lot of stuff. He was like, look, I love Soul Calibur. I want it to be dope. But, there's things that, killed the game over time. Or was killing the game over time. So Harada said, hey, I got time. He literally opened up his tweet and the response says, okay, since it's lunchtime, let's talk a little bit about the differences between Soul Calibur, Project Soul, and Tekken Project. Before we get to that subject, you mentioned game mechanics as a prime example of how to talk about the survival of the game, but things are not that simple. In the case of fighting games, if the arcade game market was in its heyday and the income of coin per play was important, it's still the case. But in the home video game market, the only people who can reach an evaluation of game mechanics are those who have already purchased the game, and the paradigm shift in the business model of the game has changed in the marketing of games itself. I guess I'll stop right there. I guess I see where he's coming from. Like it's not just people have at least how I see that is that there's a larger investment to be made before you
Yeah.
actually get to know the mechanics at all.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not enough that the devs can do as far as like, how the dev team had a little test players, but those test players are not like players like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Hardcore online grinders like most of the FGC. So they're never going to be able to really find all of the kinks out of those games until they release it to the wild public, the jungle. You know what I'm saying? You got to give a game to the public in order to really like hash out the mechanics. Because the few of y'all that play it as a tester before you give it to the public, that's just those that small group's ability to play, skill level, skill set, mindset, and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's not the whole of the community that's going to be playing the game. So
Mhm.
there's only so much you can really do before you release a game, and you're going to inevitably have to release it to the public and let the public touch it and
And
find all
see,
the glitches and kinks.
yeah, and he continues saying the paradigm shift in the business model has changed, creating a situation where people want to buy a game before they play it, and that's basically the marketing's job. They have to, they have to basically try to make you want to buy it before you even seen it, because now that whole arcade situation is over. So they have to increase or figure out how to increase the pre-release evaluation and the number of initial sales, and all of that is speculative on how much money they're going to put into the game, blah blah blah. And then he says, in talking about historical video game franchises, the shift in marketing and branding due to the paradigm shift in business models cannot be overlooked, and many people who have been in the industry for a long time will probably agree with my simple explanation. On top of that, following saying, of course, it's important to evaluate game mechanics. It's important to have game mechanics that can be played for a long time, because it's a factor that affects the sales beat after the initial launch. And it's a factor that will work like a body blow in the long run, if it, of course, if it sucks. Um, but he does say that there are things that are kind of like naive, where we're just like, oh, the mechanics is what killed it, or it just didn't sell because the mechanics. And
I can tell you what killed it.
okay,
And it's not because I was a hardcore Soul Calibur player. It's the same thing that kills all fighting games.
mhm.
The toxicity within it, right?
Mm.
So
I mean, it
those,
seems like it's killing Mortal Kombat right now.
like I can't say this enough. Um, Especially when I say it on my social media, my Twitter and stuff. But I know people be like, open mind, just talking. Open mind always. I get that part, but there is some of the things I say y'all need to like really take seriously and stop dismissing me all the time, because I'm in the the soup of this, right? That's the best analogy I can use.
Yeah, you're in the
Even
thick of it all
even
the
though
time.
even though I may not be attending Evo events, esports events, winning tournaments against the people that y'all worship in the FGC, I'm still beating these people on my couch for one. But that's not what I'm talking about here. Just wanted to say that I am in the thick of this, in this world, this lifestyle, this community, this space of playing these fighting games online in the ranked mode or in the lobbies. I'm in the discussions, good, bad, or indifferent, and I've been part of this community for at least 20 years, 20 plus years.
Hmm.
Offline before online was online, and then when online became a thing, and we just took what we did in arcades and took it to online. So being in this community, what kills games isn't the gameplay itself all the time. It's the community. It's the people that frequent the game. So if you don't give people the ability to control who they face, that's going to kill your game. The matchmaking servers that these companies put into these games that match IP addresses together for a match, the way that it's set up, and that it doesn't give you, the user, control over who the matchmaking server gives you, and the situation where you log into a server and you're at the mercy of whatever the server matches you to. Oftentimes, those servers are algorithms. They want to keep matching you to the person that you just matched to, because it's more convenient for the server to just put your IP address with this IP address, because those two IP addresses have been matched before. So that kind of, the servers are only doing what's convenient for them so that they don't crash and that they don't overload. So it's kind of more convenient and more cost efficient, maybe, I mean, not cost efficient, maybe energy efficient. I don't know the efficiency, but I know there's something to it, that there's an intent. It's not an accident that the matchmaking servers that we find ourselves on are archaic in a way that we have to take what the server give us. If you reject it, they penalize you for rejecting the opponent that the server is matching you to. What that then creates, once it happens too many times, once or twice you don't notice it because you just bought the game, it's fresh and new, everybody's playing it, nobody's really paying attention to that small aspect. You may be more focused on the gameplay and the combos and the theatrics and the visual, but once you start frequenting the game a lot, you start playing it a lot more often, it becomes a regular thing. The game's been out 2 3 months, 6 months now, everybody's been playing it. What you find is that you've been playing this game, logging into this matchmaking server frequently, so the matchmaking server keeps matching you to the same people that you fought previously. Even if it was weeks before, months before, there's a database dump that remembers your IP address. It puts it in that database and the other IP addresses you've been matched to. And for energy efficiency or whatever type of efficiency that's cost efficient on the end of the developers, what that then does is everybody's constantly facing the same opponents over and over again with that design of the matchmaking server. So that then your game dies because you either don't have the ability or you're refusing to give the ability to the person, the user, to decide who they want to face today. Whatever that looks like logistically, I don't know that part, but I know it can be done because there are games who have that ability where you can go into the server, you get to see everything about the person that you're being matched to, and you have the option to decline or accept, and there's no penalty to the progress you've made up until that point. Where other servers say, take this fight, but I don't want this fight. Well, if you back out, that's a rage quit, that's a penalty to your points and your progress. We're going to shame you publicly for it. Okay, so then all that public shame and all of that toxicity makes people not even want to log in the first place. So now the game dies because people don't want. It's about administration. It has nothing to do with gameplay, nothing to do with mechanics, nothing to do with character matchups, nothing to do with graphics, nothing to do with cosmetics and costumes and modding and cheating. It has everything to do with the matchmaking servers that they put in the game. That is by design, matching IP addresses frequently back to back with each other because it doesn't really want to match you to all these other matchmaking servers because that costs money. You're going to tell me it's crossplay worldwide, but I'm only fighting people in my region. I'm region locked in my matchmaking server. You're saying that I can fight people in Japan and all these other countries, but my regular opponents are not people from other countries. It's seldom, every now and then. But my normal opponent is a person that I've already fought, and they're more than likely within 25 miles of me, 100 miles, maybe the next state over, but they're not across the world. They're
All
not.
right.
They're not. See what I'm saying? I know I was long-winded, but
No.
that's the reason games die. The matchmaking server and how it's implemented.
Well, he alluded to, because his response is very long, and the article links to the original tweet and his response. But his response it does touch on development, and he doesn't. Of course, Harada's he doesn't seem like the type, or at least he has never come off as the type to me to kind of like out people and stuff like that. But he does cover development. He also covers another big thing that was a blow to this. Which was the incoming or outgoing management over at Bandai Namco. Talking about, like basically these are two projects that were going on. They both had two big projects. This is during the dawn of the Polygon era. You had Namco and Sega going at it, but then you also had a large shift managerial with the managers and the CEOs or whatever, and that created an issue of its own. So it seems like, because this is a very long response, but it seems like Soul Calibur almost like new management came in and they said, "Yo, Soul Calibur looks cool, but Tekken's making money. Soul Calibur isn't. So we're gonna throw the rest of our weight behind Tekken, and Soul Calibur can kind of go on and end with this entry, and we'll just let that go on." Now, I mean, who knows? I mean, they own it, so it can always come back. But it, to a certain degree, kind of like boiling it down, it seems like there were issues development wise as far as people that are in charge that may or may not know fighting games as well as maybe other teams do. Of course, after the original, I'm going to try to pronounce his name. The original, I guess, leader at Soul Calibur was Yo Toriyama. I'm pretty sure I screwed that up, but however that gentleman's name is pronounced, after he had moved on, it seems like that was a shift on the team, and then there was also a shift at Bandai Namco, as well as programming or development issues and matchmaking, and all that kind of came together as a perfect storm that kind of just stifled Soul Calibur. Um, but it's an interesting read. Y'all should check it out, man. Harada really laid out a lot of he dropped some history of like just Bandai Namco marketing, leadership, stuff like that. When I say leadership, I'm talking about the executive suite. Executive suite is like the CEO, the CFO, the COO, all the C's, all the all the people that never get fired. The, those people. So like,
Right.
I thought it was interesting to see this, and at least that it there's a part that he even says that there was a time where he believed that the Soul Calibur team was even more on fire or excited about Soul Calibur than his team was for Tekken. So it doesn't seem to be, once again, it doesn't seem to be an issue with the people that are making it. Like they don't like the game. It seems like a whole bunch of outside stuff that those people can't really control. And then of course you have like the development side of the servers where you just got issues there. And then he seems to be pretty gracious, but when he talks about the leadership and the changing of the guard and stuff, yeah, that probably, whenever there's a new CEO or something like that, they're going to have their pet projects and things that they like or things that they don't think are important.
I mean, because the thing about the servers is this: it's not a situation of skill all the time, right?
Mhm.
Oftentimes, the matchmaking server wants to match you to somebody whose internet is just not good. It's not fun, right? It's just not. So so the thing is, you as a player in those little moments, you don't have anybody to complain to really. Nobody's there for you to say, hey, can I just stop getting matched to these laggy people? And then they'll give you like little icons that say, set your settings to 4 bars or whatever. But then when you set your settings to like 4 or 5 bars, now the matchmaking server just keeps looping you back to the same 1 or 2 individuals. So on one hand, you have a setting that you can restrict your internet connection to the strongest connection, 5 bars only, 4 bars or higher, or whatever, right? That's usually the standard. But here's what ends up happening when you set your standards to 4 or 5 bars. The matchmaking server matches you to the same 4 or 5 people, because those are the only people in the server who have that strong of a connection. Everybody else who's logging in is 3 bars or less. You get tired of fighting the same 4 or 5 guys over and over again. So you give in and say, all right, well, I'm going to put my settings on whatever, instead of just 4 restricted, because I want to fight more than these 5 guys. Now you're getting all these laggy matches because you put your settings on restricted, on unrestricted, now instead of 4 or 5. So it's like, yeah, you're giving us in your matchmaking server the ability to block out laggy people, so to speak. But then there's a side effect to that, right? Like the commercials that come on at 3 a.m. We got this pill that'll cure this thing you got, but you're gonna be
Side effects is like heart attack and death.
Right. So while you're curing my gripe about having laggy opponents, your server now then makes me fight the same 5 opponents over and over again because my settings are set to 4 or 5 only. So You're not solving the problem by giving me the ability to block out the laggy people. What you need to do is give me the ability to choose my opponent entirely, where I get to see their stats, I get to see their connection status, and I get to decline or accept the match versus the person that you're telling me to fight. So I can decide in that moment, do I want to deal with this person whose connection may be suspect, the character that they may be playing with, the account name of the person that I'm about to fight, their stats and history.
Shouts to Strive, y'all.
You see what I'm saying? Guilty Gear Strive. What I am describing is not like a dream. Guilty Gear Strive has it. And let me explain what it is. Guilty Gear Strive is a fighting game that has a matchmaking server that lets you go into the ranked mode of the matchmaking server, and you get to see who all in the lobby. You get to see their avatar. Yeah, who all in there. You get to see their avatars running around, but not just that. You get to approach their avatar and say, "Hey, you want to fight?" And they get to decline or accept. There's an infinite timer. And they can. There's no timer. It's just a message that says accept or decline this fight from this person who just walked up to your avatar and probably clicked on you, and their menu popped up. Before the menu pops up, they get to see everything about you: the character that you're playing with, the connection that you're using, your disconnect rate percentage. If you're a person that disconnects a lot, the disconnect rate percentage of you. And everything about you, your name, the nickname you're going with, your account name, everything about you as you log into this game that you're playing. Your opponent gets to see that first, and then they can decide, do I want to fight this person? Yes or no, decline or accept, whatever the options are. And in that moment, you decline or accept. And if you just say, I want to decline, I don't want to fight this person, there's no penalty to the progress you've made up until that point. That is Guilty Gear Strive's matchmaking server. But yet Tekken and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat can't seem to do that. They can't seem to give you a matchmaking server that allows you all those options. What they give you is you got to take what we give you. And if you decline this fight, we're going to shame you publicly for air quote rage quitting. And we're gonna penalize your points for not accepting the opponent that the server is giving you. Everything is it's like you got an opponent and all you see is their connection. That's it. You don't get to see nothing else. There's a timer. You can accept or reject it at their connection. All you have is their connection. You don't get to see nothing else but their connection. And you can accept that, and then now it takes you to another screen that shows you all the rest of the stuff. But hey, you accepted the fight, so if you back out now, that's a penalty. That's a rage quit. But that's what I'm saying. You don't know who your opponent is until you accept the match that they give you. You got to accept it first on Mortal Kombat. You got to accept it first on Street Fighter 6. You got to accept it first on Tekken 8. Then you get to see who your opponent is.
Yeah.
And then you get and that's what kills the game.
So imagine
that's what makes people not want to log in and play, because they don't have any control over who their opponents are.
So imagine that on the ground. So that's what's going on the ground. And then in his post, here's what's going on up in the sky. He says, first, the company, meaning Bandai Namco, was split into a development company and a publishing company. And I became part of the publishing company, but also the head of a new department called Global Business Development, which had nothing to do with game development. None of my subordinates were in development. They were all marketing staff. This meant that from a company organizational point of view, I was out of the Tekken project, both in terms of the company itself, its divisions and departments, and its budget management. This was not my idea, of course, but it was decided by the management at the time according to the company policy that I mentioned earlier. And he talks about company policy earlier as far as, you know, the redistribution and the reorganization when Bandai Namco came together. And see, so on the ground, you got people getting matched up wrong. Then up in the sky, you got people that are supposed to be making games put in a place with nothing but marketing staff and global business development. Nothing would get so. This is it's Soul Calibur just had it. Just look, man. They just had a time. You know, hopefully it can come back because I used to love. I was a Soul Calibur playing fool back in the first two when I had Dreamcast, but I fell off. You know what I'm saying? I played that. I played DOA a lot, but I mean I haven't played. You know, I just kind of fell off. But when you have stuff like this, when on the ground the matchmaking is bad, people aren't liking the game mechanics, and then up in the sky you're reorging people where they're not even working where they're supposed to be working.
Which
Anyway,
then trickles down and affects the whole anything that needs to be done to the game to save it isn't being done because you ain't got the right people that's working in that department because y'all don't know how to run the business in the sky.
And I've been in a reorg before. It's not fun. The good thing is I didn't lose my job. I ended up leaving because I was like, these people don't even know what I do. And the funny thing is, I was in a meeting with my quote new manager at the time, and he was like, I honestly don't know how to give you a performance review because I don't really know what you do. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't. You shouldn't be here. Like, but it's not your fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault. The people like 10 levels above us made this decision.
That's crazy how you got a person that's supposed to be evaluating you and they don't even know what your job is. Like, you know, and then, but the CEO be wanting profit and shit. Like, what's our profit margin this year? Your profit margin, you don't nobody know what they supposed to be doing. Or
everybody got moved around, so we don't really know.
What is my job description?
Boy. But
I mean, I'm gonna keep coming to work and getting that check, but what is my job description?
I got to.
Right.
But FGC can rejoice. We got good news, all right? Good news, hip hoppers. You know what I'm saying? Marvel and Capcom done got together to give us a little fighting game classic. All right, they got together to give us the Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection arcade classics. So you gonna get pretty much everything up to Marvel 3. You're not getting Marvel 3, but you're gonna be getting Children of the Atom, X-Men versus Street Fighter. What is it? Marvel superheroes, like all those games, and Marvel 1, Marvel 2. Like, look, I ain't gonna front. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, happy day!" Right. Oh, happy.
So you
day.
gonna be on that joint? You gonna be on the Marvel collection?
Yeah, because then that means I don't really have to power up the Dreamcast and the Saturn no more because I just got it. You know,
They got some beat 'em up.
And you can play it online.
Yes, they got some beat 'em up games. Captain Commando, Punisher.
So I mean, you know, are you going to buy this? Are you excited for it?
I'm not excited for it, but you know, I might get it.
Excited.
I'm not excited for it, but you know, I'm not hating either. You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool to see it. I was like, okay, all right. I'm not mad, but I ain't doing no cartwheel about it, you know, because I feel like this. I think it was like, I think it's something that should have been done a long time ago.
I agree.
And because
we should have gotten.
And I think that what's coming down the pipeline as far as fighting games this year and next year, I think it's not going to get the attention it should have gotten because it's a Capcom classic. Everybody it's all the games that I played in the arcade with TJ Storm.
Yeah.
Right. When me and TJ Storm met 20 years ago in an arcade, and that's one. And Capcom is a lot of the games. Tekken wasn't the only thing we played. Tekken is what made us kind of like meet each other. We just met in a Tekken tournament. We went to an arcade to play the Capcom games. We saw a sign on the wall for a Tekken tournament, and we all kind of signed up for it individually. Those of us that frequent that arcade. And I just happened to see him at the tournament. But Tekken isn't the game that necessarily brought me and TJ Storm together. The arcade brought me and TJ Storm together. The arcade in and of itself.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what game. There was no specific game. We just like to tell our Tekken story. Me and TJ Storm love telling that story because it's so funny how I won a tournament, but he could come home and beat me 10 times, right, at my house, right? But it's a funny story that I love telling because I actually took that L, and I'm always uplifting my brother. Like, and when I tell that story, here I am now. I'm a beast in the fighting game industry now, and I know it's obvious that I'm a good player, but at the same time, I'm never gonna forget where I came from. Telling that story where TJ Storm was the one who beat me 10 straight before I could, you know what I'm saying, to beat some sense into me, right? At that time when we were younger, that story, I feel like telling that humbles me. Yeah, I'm who I am in the FTC today, but I ain't gonna never forget there's somebody who there was a point in time where he had my number and I couldn't do nothing about it. TJ Storm is that person. I'm gonna always give him that. You know what I'm saying? But the real thing that brought us together per se is the arcade. We frequented that arcade even if we didn't know each other personally as
Mhm.
homies then. It was a familiar face. I was a familiar face to him. He was a familiar face to me, even if we didn't talk and exchange numbers and hang out together in that time. We saw each other's face a lot, like friendly rivalry. Like I'm sitting down at a stool playing a game by myself, and I feel a body sitting next to me, a quarter going into the machine. I look up, it's TJ Storm. What's up, bro? How you doing, fam? You good? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I don't know his name yet. He don't know my name yet, but we know each other's face. So he's my opponent today. And he's always my opponent. Every time I sit on the game, he'll sit down and beat me up, right? And there's people lined up, put their quarters up, and they eventually get him off. He'll look around and find me in the arcade and come sit next to me again and beat me all that game. Like that's what brought us here. The arcade itself. You know what I'm saying? So to for me, that's my stance on the brotherhood.
Word
It's
up.
not the fighting. It's not the game itself. It's the specific game. It's gaming in and of itself, and the medium that brings us together. We all frequent this game, whether we good, bad at it, suck at it, good at it, whatever. We all frequent this game. So this is the thing we have in common. You feel me?
And shouts out to all those places. Shouts out to all the arcades, whether you was like one cabinet in 7-Eleven, or you was the little small spot inside of the mall, or putt putt golf, or pro park, or discovery zone, wherever you was playing engaged at. Shouts out to all those places, because it became like kind of like the water cooler or the watering hole. It kind of came that spot for all of us. So that's, what I'm saying, that's near and dear to all our hearts. And I must say that it was good taking a look at all these games and seeing that we're going to be able to get like online play and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they're going to take out the glitches. I'm sure people are going to look for them, but I'm pretty sure them glitches are going to be gone. Um, but
Oh yeah, most definitely. And they taking the infinite combos off too, so they ain't gonna
yeah,
get
those
the infinite
infinites are going to be
combos.
gone. Those glitches are going to be gone. So y'all can forget that. But I did want to ask you this real quick before we jump to some Tekken talk. Is Do you think this means that we're getting a Marvel 4?
I don't think we're getting a Marvel 4 as much as I think we're getting a Street Fighter versus Capcom, or Capcom versus SNK or something like that, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't think it'll be. I think Capcom is gonna do the game, right? I think Capcom devs are gonna create the game, Capcom versus SNK 4, because there's already a 3. There's gonna be a 4. I don't think we're gonna get Marvel versus Capcom 4 because we kind of already got that with MVCI. I think
Oh
we're gonna
yeah,
get,
I guess
yeah,
Infinite would
Marvel
technically
versus
be the
Capcom
4.
Infinite is technically 4. It doesn't say
Yeah,
4 on
you're
the box.
right.
It says Infinite, but that's the fourth installment of it. It's its own game. It's not an expansion of 3. It's its own game. So that is technically Marvel 4. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite is technically Marvel 4. It's just not titled Marvel 4.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
in other words, we already have 4 Marvel versus Capcom games. We don't have 4 SNK versus Capcom games,
Well,
or
hold
Capcom
up. Did
versus
we
SNK.
ever get a 3? We never got a Capcom versus SNK 3, did we? We
Yeah,
got we
we
oh
did.
yeah,
No,
we got
it's yeah.
CVS
There's
1 and 2, and then we got that SNK versus Capcom game that wasn't
no, no,
really
no, 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 no.
well
Listen,
received.
this is how it goes. There was SNK versus Capcom Chaos.
Yeah.
which was done by the SNK people. The devs made their crossover version. They made two of them, one and two, SNK versus Capcom, then SNK versus Capcom 2 Chaos, and then Capcom devs made their version of Capcom versus SNK 1, 2, and 3. There's three of them. There's Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, which is the game me and TJ Storm played a lot in the arcade. Part 3 came out on console, on Dreamcast. There was an arcade port, but it just didn't do that well in the arcades because by that time people were just on consoles a lot. So it was on Dreamcast and PS2. Capcom versus SNK 3. So and that's where they stopped it at. And the Capcom devs made that game. So I'm thinking with this Terry Bogard my stuff they've given us with Street Fighter 6 Season 2 DLC, what I'm thinking the game is gonna be, the crossover game is gonna actually be Capcom versus SNK 4. And they're gonna cross over and give you the roster may be crazy, right? They're not gonna be this. You're definitely gonna have some carryovers from Capcom SNK 1 and 2 and 3, but there are gonna be some new additions from the SNK world and the Capcom world that was never in the series ever. That will be in the fourth version. And I think that one, and I'm not saying that's what I personally want. I'm just saying that's what I think is gonna end up happening. I don't think we're gonna get Marvel vs. Capcom 4. They gave you the Marvel collection.
Yeah.
Marvel people still play Ultimate Marvel 3 because I still play Ultimate Marvel 3. I still have it. Ultimate Marvel 3, I still play it here and there. I don't make a lot of content for it, but I do be sitting up playing that joint. I just don't tell people. It just be like I'll cut it on and take 3-4 fights and just cut it off because I don't sit there and grind it. But I still play that game. And that game still has a community. I can go online in ranked mode in Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 and I'll get a fight within 5 seconds. Literally. That dead game is still giving me fights. And it's not the same opponent back to back. I'm getting different fights. On this old game, I'm getting different opponents.
All right, Marvel 3 community.
Yeah.
I see y'all.
So,
keep that
the
game
Ultimate
alive.
Marvel 3, now mind you, they hate my guts, right? The Marvel 3 community who may cross this video and hear me talking. The Ultimate Marvel 3 community hates my guts. But I don't hate them. I'm just gonna say this, even though they probably hate me. I'm not saying this to shade them. I'm saying their community is live and well. They do still play that game, and I face these dudes very often. They hate my guts because of the way I play, not because of me. I ain't never done nothing to these dudes. It's just that when I come in, I'm giving them the business, and they hate that. Right? They hate it. And I'm aware of it. So, it's my own dumb fun. Like I know these guys when they see Open Mind 82 log in, they cringe up and they see and they irritate. It's like, Open Mind again, and it's like, yep, here I am, and I know it because of the way they fight me. They fight me so sweaty. It's because it's just me, because it's me, and I get it. It's fun, but I just don't think, and I don't know this for sure. This is just me throwing paint up against the wall. We'll see what happens, right? I don't think it's going to be Marvel 4. I think it's going to be Capcom versus SNK 4. Crossover type, new modern graphics type, tag in, tag out type. It's going to be like a tag battle type game where I think you're going to be able to tag in and out instead of this setup like King of Fighters where you fight one character at a time until they die and then switch you out. I think it's gonna be Capcom versus SNK 4. And I think they're gonna be you the ability to tag in and out of that joint. It's like tag battle. Because if you're gonna do a crossover game, it makes sense to have a tag battle mechanic. It just makes sense. Why would you not have a tag battle mechanic in a crossover fighting game? It doesn't make sense.
All right, this what's up. Then I want to open the floor to the young brother right now because you've been making some strides in your journey on that Tekken 8. What's going on with Leroy? How Leroy feeling over there?
Yo, bro, Leroy is God of Destruction rank. Let's just start there. Let's start there.
Okay.
That is the highest rank you can achieve. Now, before we get into that, I want to say this. The community agrees that Tekken is probably the most difficult fighting game in the fighting game community. Right? I didn't say that. The community said that. The fighting game, the FGC agrees that if there's a fighting game that's got a degree of difficulty, right? What's the difficult fighting game to master? Everybody voted. They did polls on this joint. Like polls have been given polls. Even Harada did a poll one time, but there's been polls, right? And these polls always say that Tekken, the Tekken genre, the Tekken universe, is the most difficult fighting game to master. That you can't just be no anime fighter and come over in Tekken and think that anime stuff gonna work. You can't be no Street Fighter person and think that's what they used to. They're all pompous, right? I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 1. So I don't, so for me, Tekken is not that difficult for me. But people have said that it's the most difficult fighting game. So with that said, I'm God of Destruction rank on the most difficult fighting game in the fighting game community, in the gaming community. This is the person that everybody says is nobody, fraudulent and trash and not as good as he don't participate in no tournaments. All of this, and that's just a few things that's been said about me. We can go on all day about what's been said about me. Then I remember before I even bought Tekken 8, I hadn't even bought Tekken 8 yet, hadn't even had a PlayStation 5 yet. Remember when King J plagiarized my whole post? Because I'm nobody, right? Plagiarized my whole Twitter post. Because I'm nobody. He didn't want to give me no tag, no shout out, no nothing, because I'm nobody in the FGC. And he's the Leroy person, right? I remember this. I will never forget this because I hadn't even touched Tekken 8 yet. But I'm a Tekken player who plays with Leroy. Now here I am, Leroy, number 7 Leroy on PlayStation in the world. Now I don't know if the screenshot is up or not, but NERDSoul definitely has a copy. If you go to the menus on your Tekken game right now, click on the Leroy character, condense it down to just the Leroys. My name is God's Vibration. Or my name is OpenMind82, whatever. You'll see my name because you ain't even got to scroll. You know how you go to the leaderboard and you got to scroll far. You got to scroll all far. Soon as you click on, you can click on top, right? Don't click on self. Don't click on whatever. Click on Leroy on your screen right now. Search me on Tekken, whether you on PlayStation, whether you on PC or Xbox, if you listen. But put it on the PlayStation side. Put it on the PlayStation group, if you with whatever platform you're in, and click on Leroy. And you ain't got to scroll. I'll be right there at the top screen. The first place, second place, third place. I'm number 7. You ain't even got to scroll to look to find me. You ain't got to scroll to find my name and scroll. Just you'll find me at the top. If you want to find me, my leadership, my leaderboard numbers, you'll find my Leroy at the top on the PlayStation. Well, I wanted to not only congratulate you on Xbox, but as far as the PlayStation, because I want to be clear about me being the number 7 in the world. I'm like, no, you ain't the best in the world. I didn't say I was the best in the world. I said on PlayStation only. As number 7. Leroy players. I'm number 7 Leroy.
And 7 is a lucky number, now. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, I wanted to congratulate you because I know it's not easy to get this far. You got to play a lot of Tekken, put in a lot of time, putting in tons of hours. I want to ask you, are you happy that you used the scientific method to
Shout out to Tricky Eileen. Shout out to Tricky Eileen and her minions for coming for us.
Yo, Eileen, on the real, Eileen, I ain't got nothing against you, girl. Like,
I don't have nothing against her, but we know she gonna listen. We know she listening because Tricky Eileen is not gonna forget about Open Mind because there was a big fuss about it, right? There's no beef. There's no beef. We honestly don't have no beef. We were just saying that we don't think that's the only way. And because there was such a big fuss about it, and I was also dismissed by her too. Tricky Eileen also dismissed me as a nobody. Well, Tricky Eileen, if you're listening, I am a god of destruction rank, and you're not. And that's not to be mean or to put you down or to dismiss you. like you dismissed me. I still don't know frame data. Let me say that again. Let me do my Umar Johnson, because Umar Johnson says stuff 3 times.
Do you find that suspicious?
I don't know frame data for Tekken 8. I don't know frame data for Tekken 8. I don't know frame data for Tekken 8. I don't know.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
And I'm number 7 Leroy in the whole world on PlayStation playing with Leroy. I don't know. If you tried to quiz me, what's Leroy? Oh, let me tell you something else. Ooh, I'm about to say this. I'm about to make everybody mad, nerd, when I say this. You ready? You ready?
What's up?
I don't even know Leroy's moves. Ooh! I don't know his moves. I don't know Leroy's moves. I can't tell you what his moves are. I just know his
like you don't know the name of the moves? Like I'm doing the super fire dragon punch or something. I don't
know the name of them. If somebody say, yo, can you do Leroy's tornado crash splash? What? His what? Huh? How you play with Leroy and you don't know his moves? I don't know his moves.
I don't know his moves, man. I mean, I know the move to do it, but I don't know the name of it.
I know the input. I don't know the move. I don't know him. I can't write them down on a piece of paper.
Now,
I
do
can't
you find that
them.
suspicious?
Man, what I'm saying is this. Tricky Eileen, if you're listening, it's all in love. It's all in good competition fun. You in the man's world over here on this fighting game community, so you gonna get equal opportunity smoke over here. That's just what it is. We're treating you equally, Tricky Eileen. So
now, honestly, Tricky Eileen, on the real, I ain't got nothing against you. We were just basically saying the way you ran that scientific thing is like. I honestly don't think that's the only one. I think that's a very myopic view.
And it's like I needed to, and then don't think I didn't get to God mode to prove it to her. I was just grinding and I got to God. But it just so happened that I like the fact that we revisited this, because this is not a negative shade at her. I am the living example, proof. I gave my theory about how I disagree with the scientific method and knowing frame data, because if you don't know frame data, then you can't be a good player. You're never going to be good. You're going to plateau.
Those people in the comments and the chat can't evolve.
You're going to plateau at a certain rank, and you're never going to rank up higher than that because you don't know frame data. All right. All of that was said, right?
Even people came in our comments and was like, yo, you don't understand the frame data, and I was just like, all right.
Yo, okay, so fast forward to right now today, y'all listening. Everybody who came in the comment section, I want you to look at your rank right now. Because rank don't matter, right? See, now rank don't matter, right? Because see, now...
Yeah, rank don't matter.
You know, rank don't matter
once you get somewhere, if you're someone they don't like...
I become a god of destruction, rank don't matter.
Look at what they did to Mina. Look at what they did to Mynd RD. Mynd RD get all these wins, and then people like, well, you know,
and they downplayed him because he's a diamond rank.
He top tier, and you know you shouldn't be playing top tier. I was like, hold up, I thought everybody wanted the viable and don't want to be not viable.
They downplaying Mynd RD because his actual online rank is diamond. He's not a master rank player. He don't play in rank mode to rank himself up. He got himself to diamond rank, and he's satisfied with that because he ain't got time to play in rank. He grinding out on these tournaments. He on an airplane flying around traveling. He don't have time to sit there and grind rank like that. The only time he's spending on the game is time practicing against a few small group of people that he know is highly skilled enough to give him a good warm up, a good sparring session. They're not gonna clip it and post it online if they beat them or something. You know what I'm saying, on some punk stuff. It's like, these my homeboys that I know really good. They good enough to, if they can't beat me, they can at least handle me and survive me. And I just need to play with them real quick to warm up before I go to my tournament. That's all Mynd RD does. He don't play online like that. So that don't mean he's trash because he's not a master rank player. If he's obviously won Evo twice, he won Evo twice.
Man, bro, come on.
Come on. Now, but listen, I agree.
Hold up, was it matter. Capcom? It was Capcom twice and Evo once, something like that. He won a lot.
Yeah, he won. The boy won a lot. The boy be winning stage more than once, and he's not a master rank player. He's not a legend rank player. He's a diamond rank player. His online rank.
The game don't start until you're a diamond or something, whatever it is. Some stupid ass.
You know, the game. They always moving the goalposts, right? I'm at God of Destruction, so I guess the game don't start till I get above God of Destruction now. Because there's no more rank to get to now. On Tekken 8, the highest rank you can get is God of Destruction. Not Tekken God, not Tekken God Supreme, God of Destruction. That's you
Well,
can't. That's it.
now you know the new thing is going to be that that
Well, how many
your
God of
win
Destruction points you
percentage,
got?
your
Your
win
win.
percentage
I'm a,
ain't high or
well,
something
I'm gonna tell y'all my
crazy.
win percentage right now. My win percentage on Tekken 8 is 57%. That's my win percentage. I'm gonna tell you right now
But
what it is.
they gonna say, well, see,
57%.
you don't really become a good fighter until you 60%. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be
Listen,
some
if
stupid
I
rule.
was at 90%, they would push the goalpost to 95. It don't matter.
Oh
Then
boy.
but it ain't the percentage. In Tekken 8, there's a grade system where you get A's, B's, C's, and D's, literally A's, B's, C's, and D's for different aspects of your gameplay. So if you let them see it, which they can't just see that menu unless you show it to them. Well, let's see your grades. What are your grades? Can you block? Can you do
Are
attacks?
you
Or
on
what you are
honor
you
roll? Right.
right? Literally, what you just said. Are you? Because if
Oh
you ain't got
boy.
A's and B's and S's as your rank, as your grades and your other menu, they're gonna downplay that. So it doesn't matter. I've been wanting to say. I'm glad we on the mic and I can say this. Everybody in the FGC up until this point that cringe when they hear my name, see a clip of me posting, or whatever it is about me that just make your booty hole tight, right? You just I can't stand open mind, right? When you're done talking, complaining, crying, trying to shame me, whatever you got, whatever you think you got on me, when you done, I'm still gonna be God of Destruction rank. I'm still gonna be sitting there because I'm not logging back into the rank mode with Leroy. I think I'm number 7 Leroy. I don't need to keep grinding rank to go to the number 1 Leroy. I don't care about that guy. He can have that. The number 1 Leroy in the world on PlayStation can have that stress. Y'all go after him. Go flood his inbox and tell him how much of a fraud he is and how you're coming for his spot. I don't care. Y'all can have it.
But it's
What I'll
probably
do is
somebody who they best friends with, so it's all
right.
right. Rank matters with him.
What I'll do is I'll frequently check the leaderboards, and if I see myself falling down too far, I'll just fight my way back to number 7 because I only need a few points to move up. It's not that many people in God of Destruction rank. There's a total in the whole world on PlayStation of 18 God of Destruction ranked Leroy players. Total. Grand total across the globe that play PlayStation. There's only 18 total God of Destruction ranked Leroy players. I'm number 7 among the 18. So if I start falling down that list, just at the least I'll be number 18, but I'll still be God of Destruction rank. A lot of y'all ain't gonna make it to that list of people anyway. So if I fall below 7 and go to 10 or 15 or something, my rank is gonna still say God of Destruction, even if I'm not in the top 10 list. You still ain't gonna be there because to get the God of Destruction rank, it's not easy. It's
Mm-mm.
not. It's not. I'm not. What I tell you, my win percentage was 57%. That's what my win percentage is.
Bruh.
You're not gonna get the God of Destruction just on a win streak. But my win percentage doesn't matter. It's not 30%. It's not below 50. It's above 50. So that means I won more than I lost, even though it's 57%. And I won enough of them fights to push the God Destruction ring. But I want to say something about my journey. Right? My journey was unique though, nerd.
All right.
I want to say this, bro. Like this is my God of Destruction rank up wasn't the same as any normal rank up on any fighting game. I gotta tell y'all this, especially you. You don't know this. Nobody know this, but this is I'm announcing it right here on NERDSoul's episode this time. This is brand new information. So I started noticing the cheating culture in Tekken 8, the lag switching culture, the cheating culture,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started to do the threatens of the ban. You know how it was LTG got banned and stuff, right? You know all of the bans, right? And you know me, nerd. I'm not above disconnecting on people
Yeah.
whose internet is bad, right? We know that about me. I admit that. And yes, I was doing that on people whose internet is bad, or if I feel like this fight unfair, this choppy, man, I can't. This dude is really like this game is laggy, cheating. Like in my mind, I'm saying it, but I can't prove it. So I'll plug out, right? Okay, so I too had a disconnect percentage because of that. Because I'm disconnecting from the cheating people on PC. My PC icon, they got 2 bars of connection, and the game is moving like slow molasses, and it's obviously cheating. But I'm stuck in this. I'm either if I disconnect, There's the penalty. There's the clip of my name being clipped, disconnecting. Let's publicly shame him. That's what that happened. But here's the thing. When I started to notice, okay, Harada's punishing us for disconnecting, which I don't have a problem with. Me, who will disconnect on you if your internet bad. I'm not against the penalty. Not against it at all. Everybody needs to stop disconnecting. But why are we disconnecting? Well, there's a reason for it. So here's the thing. The server kept matching me to these people. It's like Harada put the patch out. He's going to punish people who got disconnect rates. I'm going to make the disconnect rate people fight each other. That's what Harada did. Harada made everybody who had high disconnect rate fight each other. And for me, I feel like I'm only among this group because I'm getting matched to the people who cheat and lag switching and got these crazy connections. And I've set my bars to 5 only, and I still got 1 bar Wi-Fi with this person. And I got my settings on 5 bars only, and I still got a 1 bar Wi-Fi opponent. So I'm like, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going through back in March and April and May, and you know what I'm saying? So I put myself down in this matchmaking HELL that I call it, because the server's matching me to these highly disconnect percentage people. So here's what I did. I said, okay, if the server's gonna make me fight these guys, right, over and over, back to back to back, because the server's trying to punish me, well, I'm finna do y'all better. Everybody who is cheating and lag switching and trying to be trolls and toxic, all of y'all that's on Tekken 8, I ranked up the god of destruction off of y'all. I climbed on y'all backs. I stepped on y'all necks. I was hunting y'all in a server. I was disconnected on purpose to give myself a disconnect rate so I can be forced to fight y'all disconnect rate people so I can get them rank points and rank up the god of destruction. I fought the most toxic gutter trash of the FGC.
The gutter trash,
The worst type of people that play games. The worst type of people that want to log in and ruin your day. Everybody who's scum and just bad energy. That's who I fought for the last 3 months. Mind you, I bought Tekken 2 months after it came out. I was late to the Tekken 8 party. I didn't buy Tekken 8 in January 26th when it came out. I didn't get Tekken 8 till middle of March. It was like March 20 something when I got Tekken 8. And from March 20 something to right now, I'm God of Destruction. I done passed a lot of y'all up who had 2 months to head start on me. So my God of Destruction rank up is legitimized because I don't call myself a hero, but I went into the matchmaking server like on some double agent type stuff. Like this, I kept getting matched to these dudes. I didn't want to be matched to these dudes. I want to fight smooth connections because when I got a smooth fight, I got a better chance of winning. I'm a winner. I go on win streaks. I win more often than I lose, provided the server, provided the connection is smooth and ain't no choppy drop frames and just interruptions, lag, switchy stuff that people be doing. If you just leave the hardware alone and just let us just fight fair and square, I got a better chance of winning that fight. I win my fights, even if I take a L and then we rematch, I'm gonna get a dub off me. Because I'm a winner. I got a winning mentality. It's in my DNA. I just win. Yeah, I'm gonna take L's. I gotta take L's to learn how to play the game. Once I start learning how to play the game, I'm not gonna be taking that many L's no more. I'm gonna go on win streaks and I'll take a L. Then go on win streaks, then take a L. So I'm a win streaker. I win streak a lot. That's why I rank up like I do. Because I be on 10-game win streaks, 8-game win streaks, 10-game win streaks, take a L. 12-game win streak, take 2 L's. 15-game win streak, take 3-4 L's straight. Take a 10-game win streak, take another 3 L's straight. Like I streak when I win. I don't just win 1 and 2 and 3. I streak and then somebody see my win streak at the bottom of the screen, fight me real sweaty and beat me. But it don't matter. I was on a win streak. I got all them points that come with a win streak. So yeah, you beat me a couple times, but you didn't stop me from ranking up. All of y'all that beat me along the way on my journey, y'all didn't stop nothing. You beat me all along the way. You got your dub off me, but I'm still passed you up. Even if you won the whole set against me, even if you beat me and won the whole set, you still running in place in blue ranks. You still running in place in gold, purple ranks. I can literally chill and take a break. I have nothing to fight for anymore on Tekken 8. Right now, I'm just gonna do it for podcast fun. I have no more reason to play Tekken 8 other than to have fun. There's nothing more to grind. There's no goal to reach. I'm at the top. Where else do I need to go? I'm looking down at y'all now. And not looking down like in a like condescending way. Just literally go to the leaderboard list and I gotta scroll down the list to look at y'all. So it's literally not a shade that I'm throwing at you. I literally gotta scroll down the list to find you. Because you're not up here with me on this leaderboard list. I can't see your name. That's just real. That ain't even shade. That's just facts. Because you can go do that yourself if you listen. You can go search my name and then search your own name, and you got to scroll to find yourself. But me, I'm right there at the top. You ain't got to scroll to find me. You ain't even really got to search like Leroy. Like just go to the top. Yeah, I'm up there on the PlayStation side. On the PlayStation side, not of course, not cross play off. Because of course there are people higher than me on Xbox and on PC, but just on the PlayStation community. I'm at the top of that community because I play PlayStation. So for me to be at the top of the PlayStation community and I play PlayStation, I feel like that's an accomplishment because in my hardware and my community, I'm a PlayStation person, not a PC or Xbox person. I'm at the top of my field where I'm supposed to be. I represent the PlayStation side of Leroy, where people who represent the Xbox and the PC, whatever, right? I'm representing Leroy's on PlayStation, and I'm number 7. That's real. That's not my opinion. That's real. That's a fact, not an opinion. That's something you can go look up yourself without me sending you the screenshot. You can go look it up on your own account. You don't need me to send you the screenshot. You don't need me to send you the proof. You can go find me on the leaderboard list on your own PlayStation, on your own Xbox, on your own PC. You don't even need me to send you the screenshot. You can go see it. I'm right there on the list. Go find me. But click on the Leroy. Click on Leroy's. I'm not hard to find. I'm gonna be right there at the top of the list.
Man, you know what?
Anything that anybody got to say to me when you done talking, I'm still gonna be at the top of the list, scrolling down at the bottom of the list trying to find you. Passing the mic.
That's the perfect place to leave it. We're gonna leave it right there. That look, man. Hey, congratulations, of course.
Appreciate that love, man.
But all you done did, you know what
Black
I'm saying?
Power Fist. Black Power Fist. It's black representation. You got on my butt. I'm gonna tell y'all what NERDSoul did. He didn't do it publicly. NERDSoul got on my behind about black representation because I sent him that Fang Way video and now Leroy at the time. Because I just got the game and I had to play with Leroy yet. So I sent him some Fang Way clips. He was like, bro, Stuart, what's this?
I was like, yo, where Leroy at? I'm like, look, we gotta get Leroy up in there.
So I've more than made up for it, but not only giving you some Leroy content from there on, but I put Leroy at the top. I had to represent the Unc, bro. Unc at the top. Uncle Open Mind playing with Uncle Leroy, and we black representation over here. Pump your black power fist. Shout out to the Leroy players out there. Leroy gang in the house. If you gonna represent. Play with the black man with the dreadlocks. Because we putting it down. Because we handing out butt whoopings over here. Shout out to y'all though, man. This was fun. I had a lot of fun, bro. Tekken 8 is fun, even though it was a lot of toxicity. I had a good time.
All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll throw it to you since you already kind of did final thoughts. But hit us with any last final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Open Mind, spell it with a Y, 82 on Twitter. No, Open Mind on Twitter, spell it with a Y. Open Mind 82 on PlayStation. Open Mind underscore 82. And then hit me up on on Instagram, if you even on Instagram. I am Open Mind. Just spell my name with a Y. When you pick an Open Mind, just make sure you spell it with a Y. Even if you Google search it, you'll find a picture of my face, my goofy face. I'm in the algorithm, right? The algorithm has finally accepted Open Mind spelled with a Y, and it attaches to something I did, something I may have posted, in the
from
past, a
somewhere.
picture of me, say a video I'm attached to. Like the algorithm knows who open mind is, and it directs you to me. So even if you don't really know like where I'm at specifically, you spell open mind with a Y. It'll find you to me. It'll pitch you to me. My TikTok, my Twitter, my Facebook, not Facebook, but my YouTube, like anything I'm attached to online, I spell it with a Y consistently. And enough of that algorithm I did it myself. I started searching myself just to see what happened. It leads you back to me. So I did it to myself. Y'all can do it. Spell it with a Y. You'll find me, man. Stay tuned for my fantasy sports channel. NFL is coming up. We are coming off hiatus. We've been putting out a lot of little clips here and there to cover baseball. I'm not sure when we're gonna cover WNBA, but my partner in crime, DZ, is my partner on my fantasy sports show. He's been doing a lot of that content as far as the baseball and the WNBA side because he's more well knowledgeable of that. He knows WNBA. He know the players, the stats, and the team's strengths and weaknesses, all that stuff. He knows baseball too. That's kind of his strength on our sports channel. My strength is NBA basketball, but mostly NFL. NFL is my strength. So until NFL season come, I'm kind of just like I'm the editor for DZ to kind of run his mouth a little bit and talk about the sports. But he's talking. I'm doing all of the editing and presentation, but you're still working as a team. Check us out.
That's what's up, man.
The Recap Fantasy Sports Podcast. That's the name of it. Spell it with 2 P's. The Recap Fantasy Sports. We're not on hiatus, but we're just trying to once a week put out a video to discuss WNBA and MLB because that's what's in season right now. And we're not doing live streams that much, but we're trying to put a lot of clips out, just giving y'all info. If you gamble and you play fantasy sports, check us out. We got the knowledge on these players, at least the individual players that you need to hear from anyway. The information that you want, that you need to know as far as who you're going to pick today on your fantasy draft team. Check us out, Open Mind and DZ, the Recap Fantasy Sports Podcast. We out here. I'm more than just a gamer. I'm multifaceted. There's a lot of layers to me. I'm an onion. So shout out to the boy. Support your boy. And thank you, NERDSoul, bro, for everything that you always do, bro. You always show me love and provide your platform for me, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Man, it's always good to talk games with you. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out. I guess final thoughts from me. Don't forget, guys, Tales of Kenzera. If you love platformers, check it out. It's dope. It's black owned, black created, all that stuff. Also, Super Ubi Island. That's UBI, Super Ubi Island. That's a dope game to play if you like platformers. And Tales of Kenzera is like a Metroidvania type platform. Super Ubi Island is more of a Mario, like a Mario, Super Mario type platformer. Then don't forget, y'all, Corrupt is on the way. Corrupt is on the way.
Oh yeah, that's the
When
next
that joint
game I'm
drop.
gonna conquer. That's the next
Man.
game I plan to conquer is Corrupt. So if I can conquer Tekken, I'm finna go. I'm finna act a fool on Corrupt. I just need to get my hands on it.
Man, Corrupt is on the way, y'all. Look, it's on the way. Do not delay. It's on the way. But NERD SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until the next time that you tell someone that rank don't matter, but then when you rank up, you act like rank matters. This is just us to you saying peace.
Peace.
Seeing the way this shit really be seen, you know what I mean? It's like a cross spread mathematics, spread it right. You know what I mean?